You're watching the 2020 SCAC Spring Media Days. Today we're taking a look at the Trinity University men's tennis program. The Tigers coming off another successful season in which they won their 10th straight SCAC title and made another trip in the NCAA tournament. The Tigers will once again be led by head coach Russell McMindes along with senior Jordan Pitts. Coach Jordan, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Coach, we'll get started with you. What are the biggest challenges at the start of a new season, and how do you attack those challenges as you try to prepare your team and make sure they're as ready to go as they possibly can for a new year?
Well, every year the biggest challenge, you're bringing in new faces, trying to incorporate new freshman class. You're having to deal with seniors that have graduated out and just kind of the dynamic that creates. Fortunately, this year, I think the guys we brought in have been exceptional as far as the way they've adopted and embraced the team culture. But even more importantly, I think our leadership by our captains, Jordan being one of them, and Wilson Hamilton, but Jordan as a senior, being through the program now for 3.5 years, they were instrumental in the transition phase early on in the season. They stepped up big time as captains and really led the ship in the most phenomenal way I've seen in my tenure so far. So that was huge. It made the transition this year pretty seamless. And you just try to find a new way to motivate. This year our schedule, we were able to book a pretty unique and exotic schedule. We got to start off with a trip to Hawaii, which is that's very rare and unusual, but that was great. And our guys, Jordan and Wilson really led the off-season charge, and we came out for that trip, and I thought we looked as ready as we've ever looked to start a season. So I think just the way they embraced that and their roles as captains was huge, and then the new guys embracing being part of this storied program.
Jordan, as you enter your senior season, Coach talks about how important your leadership has been to this group. What is your mindset going into your last semester there at Trinity? Are you embracing this senior role, and is there maybe a little bit of urgency in your game right now, knowing it's your last go-around at Trinity?
I'm definitely motivated right now. I'm super excited to be getting into my last season. The first 3 I've been at Trinity for have been some of the best times of my life. I think really I'm just trying to focus on myself first, putting in as much effort as I can, each practice, each 6:30, trying to take care of what I can take care of, and then hopefully that in turn motivates some of the other teammates.
Coach, you talk about the uniqueness in which this season opens for your team. You head down to Honolulu, Hawaii, and get things started. How does a trip like that sort of help bring this team together off the court? Obviously, you're getting better and you're getting matches in on the court, but you have 5 freshmen, 7 underclassmen, so there are some new faces to this team. How can a unique opportunity like that sort of help build the chemistry with this group, and how important was it to have that trip when you're trying to get that chemistry early on?
Yeah, I think you'll talk to most any coach or any team, and they think some of the best bonding happens when you're on the road. Because then it's just you. You don't have the comforts of home. You kind of have to depend on one another. You're in closer confines in the vans, in the plane, in the lodging, whatever that might be. So you're kind of forced into that environment. But I think it's great, and with the right personalities and guys adapt to it. Hey, a trip to like Hawaii, it's hard not to get excited for something like that. And I think it was also unique that we were able to get to see Jace's family. He's from Hawaii, and so we were actually able to get him over in front of his family and friends and coaches, and his family basically adopted us while we were there and provided a ton of great home-cooked meals and all kinds of stuff off the court as well. So I think just getting to see it in a more relaxed, familial environment also helps, and the guys just really got to bond and get to see a little bit about where Jace is from and what his culture is like too. And just anytime you're on the road, it kind of enhances that experience.
Jordan, as you enter your senior season, you've already shared so much success individually over your previous 3 years there at Trinity. A 3-time All-SCAC performer, a season ago going 6-8 at that top singles line. What is it, though, that continues to motivate you as a player, and how have you continued to work on your game as you head into this new season?
I think it begins with my team and my coaches. I'm sure all along the way I've given Russell quite a few headaches. My team, they've been really great at motivating me. I think that each practice we have a lot of energy, a lot of guys that bring a lot to the table. Each morning I wake up, even though sometimes it's 6 a.m., I feel excited to be able to get in the court, given that it's my last season. And I hope I can continue to be excited for each opportunity I have. And I think that throughout the season, I'm really just going to try and work on what I can control, each match, what I can do to give myself a better chance to win. But really, I think what motivates me is my team and the people behind me.
Coach, every season you challenge your program with a difficult schedule. This year is no different. How do you kind of embrace challenging this team in terms of your scheduling? And with that difficult schedule, what are you kind of looking for early on from your guys that gives you confidence that this team can continue to grow and get better as the season progresses?
Yeah, well, honestly, I think me providing them the schedule it's giving them what they want and desire. The guys that I recruit, they're coming here to become the best that we can offer. They've come to contribute to the long tradition that Trinity tennis is, and they expect nothing less. So it's the expectation we've already created and the culture we've already established. So they want to come in and get pushed. They want to make sure every match on the court is one that they can grow and improve and really test the limits of what they have to offer. So that's our goal every year, is whether it be within Division III, a combination of Division I. This year it's pretty unique that we have such a strong schedule across the board. But that's really what goes into it. New experiences, trying to travel to different places, visit different courts, all those things. They definitely come into it. But really, it boils down to these guys wouldn't be here if they didn't want to be challenged and pushed. They wouldn't be the level of tennis player they already are coming into Trinity if they didn't have that desire. So this is just an extension of that. We're trying to continue on and develop them and challenge them to the utmost, and that's what we've done.
Jordan, as you've had discussions with your teammates about some of the goals and expectations heading into this 2020 year, what have those discussions looked like, and what are some of the goals for this Tigers tennis program heading into this season?
I think one of our biggest goals, especially starting last fall, was to really create that team energy and team bond that you need to be successful through such a long season. The other captain on the team, Wilson Hamilton, he and I have done a lot of work together to try and prepare our team in the off-season, as well as just making sure we get in the hours to be able to build that bond, build that relationship that a team needs. As well, obviously you don't want to do any worse than you did in previous seasons, so hopefully we can reach the same results that we have. But we want to keep going. We want to keep going further. My senior year, I'd love to get all the way to nationals if possible. But I think the goals we have to have right now, since we're in season, not postseason, is to just take each match not for granted. Each match is going to be very important, especially for me. Each match is going to require a lot of effort, energy. We're playing, as Russell's already mentioned, a lot of really good teams. So each match is going to be challenging, and we have to be there for each other.
And finally, Coach, to wrap things up with you, this season is successful if what plays out on the court for this team. What are you looking for from this group as they continue to build and take those steps with everything that you've put forth with this program there in San Antonio?
Just like to kind of echo what Jordan's already said, our goal first and foremost was to establish kind of a unique and new team culture. I think the guys, Jordan and Wilson have knocked it out of the park in that regard, and it's just been a different experience so far this year. But then on the court, like Jordan said, our goal first and foremost every year is to take care of conference, win the SCAC championship, continue that legacy there, but then not be satisfied. Like that's not where we want to stop. We want to take each match as a building block for beyond. So even this weekend going to Abilene, want to take these two matches and really give everything we've got in these and try to grow and improve and challenge ourselves to be better, so that when we get to later in the season, we are prepared and we've tested ourselves properly and we feel prepared as we approach the SCAC championships and then hopefully beyond. Our goal and my goal for Jordan is for him as a senior to be at the final side of nationals, getting the Elite Eight again, it's been a few years since we've been there. So that stands as our goal at this time.
The Trinity University men's tennis program. Again, the Tigers will head into the season under the guidance of head coach Russell McMindes, along with senior leadership from Jordan Pitts. Coach Jordan, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head into the year.
Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.